Hey guys, if you're listening to this on our YouTube channel or our SoundCloud account, I want to let you know that this is actually about a week late. We actually recorded this the previous Sunday and we released it today because we wanted to wait until it was public on the Crunchyroll, Rooster Teeth, and YouTube pages for the official sources. And also because we want to post this up a week early for our Patreon users. So if you want to check out our RWBY reviews the day after the episode actually drops for first members or premium Verve holders, then come check them out on our Patreon. Become a patron. Fairy Tale Podcast on Patreon, or just simply patreon.com/fairytalepodcast. On with the review. So hello, welcome to Fairy Tale Podcast, where we're once again late by 3 episodes. Yay! This is going to be a fucking trend.
I work a lot.
And Walker's the only one I could talk with, because either things happen with people's gear because other people are mean, or some of our others just haven't caught up on the show like they should have.
We have a Verve account. They can watch it whenever they want.
I debated streaming episode 8 yesterday, and I didn't. I debated it, but I didn't do it. I don't know why. I apologize to anybody that might have been keen on checking out
Our Rift channel.
Yeah, our Rift channel. So here's the thing, guys. Really quickly before we jump right into this and dive into story discussion and some of the big reveals that happened over the last 3 episodes. I think I'm going to give our patrons priority as for when I will stream on Riff. So if you're listening to this, just let me know when it is that you're available to watch our streams on Riff, and I will go ahead and post on there. Like I'll do it up to your schedule, because I've got a much more open schedule. And I'll try and see if I can do that. That way I can get you guys to come in and watch with me. And maybe y'all can check some stuff out. Again, guys, if you want to watch it, it's all of these episodes are everywhere. But if you have a Verve Premium account, you can basically get all the same shows that you would have if you were a Rooster Teeth First member. And if you're a Rooster Teeth First member, you can just straight out watch them. But if you have a Verve account, when I stream stuff, you can watch right along with us. Like if you have a Verve Premium account, you're going to get the immediate access to everything that comes out on Crunchyroll, Funimation, and as Geek and Sundry, Rooster Teeth, all those places. That having been said, on with the show. As you could hear earlier, I'm again joined with Walker.
Hello.
I am, of course, Richie. So let's get to talking about episode 6 and 7 and 8, because we're really good. We're going to be jumping all over the place because I just want to talk about key points at this point. So I guess first off, I got to give it to Yang for like her composure with her smart mouth. My favorite line of this season is "You weren't kind this time," and I was like, "Yeah, Yang doing it, telling her mom what the fuck is up." Also, I feel like we didn't get nearly enough information from Raven. Like it didn't feel like she said enough stuff about why they shouldn't trust Osmond. It felt like she was still kind of being a bit more kind to her and not telling her some of maybe the darker stuff that happened, because it felt too soft. You know what I'm saying?
I'll tell you the truth. Now sit back while we spend 15 minutes talking about everything but the truth.
Right? Thank you.
By the end of this, you won't trust Ozpin. Well, thanks, Mom. You've told me no legitimate, solid reasons why I shouldn't trust Ozpin. Mother of the Year, right here.
She's not even Negotiator of the Year. She couldn't even negotiate Yang to her side. This is, like, Raven's just a general all-around terrible person. And apparently Watts and Cinder and Emerald and Mercury are just gonna hand them their asses pretty soon. So that's gonna be nice.
That's gonna be fun to watch.
That one dude is having such a terrible week.
He went from having all his teeth to missing one of his teeth, and now he'll be missing 7 of them. Because Emerald is not as nice.
Emerald is nowhere near as nice. I was really surprised by how quickly the crew came back together. I was not expecting them to have gotten back together so quickly, or at least the 3 of them. That was pretty surprising at how early in the series Yang and Weiss and RWBY all met up. Like, I was rooting for it, of course, the whole time, but I figured it would take longer. I figured they were going to drag it out, and they didn't, and that kind of surprised me. I guess I've gotten used to people, like, dragging it out. It's like, this is the thing we know is going to happen. Let's drag it out for the entire season. Of course, then again, something recently happened or got confirmed that we knew was a thing, and it took them 5 seasons to confirm it. So there we go.
Jean Semblance coming in RWBY Volume 9. Volume 9, everybody. Jean Semblance.
But officially it was confirmed. Ozpin was officially confirmed as the wizard that granted the maidens their powers, which we already knew. It just took them 5 seasons to get around to it.
What plot point should we reveal this season? Oh, right. I guess we should finally confirm this thing.
We should finally confirm this. Oh, we should definitely confirm the birds. Nora's response to that was brilliant. She's like, Raven, Crow, they're birds. Totally cracked it. I'm like, oh my god, Nora, I love you so much.
I'm just like, they didn't become birds because their names are birds. They were just turned into birds. It's a happy coincidence.
I just love Nora's response to that. It was adorable. And then
I feel like having like a Sherlock Holmes-esque series with Nora would be interesting.
I think the person that has changed the most over the course of this time is, especially because of like the conversation she had with Yang in episode 8, is Weiss. Like, goodness, man. Like, Weiss has had the most dynamic character shift of the entire story so far. And, I love how much her character's changed and grown and everything, because she's less of a prissy bitch now.
Episode 7 Weiss was amazing.
Well, episode 8 Weiss was really good too, just for the emotional beats. But I just
like episode 7 Weiss because it's like, oh my god, she does know how to have fun.
Right?
What?
I love getting more explanation about Weiss's family, especially like at her, what was it, her 10th or her 11th birthday? Her 10th birthday was straight out when her father just said that I'm married into this for the name and the legacy. And I'm like, that's some serious shit. Wow, no wonder she was so messed up. Dad, you're the reason Mommy drinks.
We all knew it.
Like, Weiss has definitely come a long way, and I'm really loving her character in this series. Also, gotta give props to Blake for finally not going it alone.
Yeah,
gotta give her props for that, because I'm pretty sure everybody thought, well, she's captured, this is over, they're all dead, we're all screwed because Blake ran off on her own again. Nope.
It only took 1 volume and 6 episodes.
Right? She finally learned! Bring backup! It's about damn time. The one-man army known as Blake is no more. She can be taught. She can be taught.
It went from Marvel's The Punisher featuring Blake Belladonna to Army of 2, Blake and Son.
Another thing that happened that I was pretty interested in that got pointed out by Arnold, Murderer Birds, is at the end of episode 7, when Mercury and crew show up, that is the first speaking line we've heard from Mercury in almost 2 seasons. Like, his last official speaking line was, I think, in episode 10 or 11 of volume 3.
Oh yeah, when he's got like the little smartphone filming all the chaos, he's like, cool. I'm like, dude, come on.
And then he doesn't speak again until episode 7, where he says, hey, ugly. That's his first line in, like, over a year. So it's like, poor Yuri Lowenthal.
I mean, sometimes you just gotta be quietly afraid because you're in a country full of Grimm.
Right, yeah. I thought that was pretty interesting. We don't have like a lot of major details like that on our own when we do these reviews, so I like to steal from other people and make us sound legit. Yeah, it's good stuff.
I did like, despite it being just kind of a lighthearted episode and me saying a long time ago I was sick of those and I wanted more story-driven episodes, and you can go back to our Volume 4 reviews and quote me on that, because it's there. It's on the record. I liked how in Volume 7, even with all the whimsical stuff, like, there was still some story progression, because it felt like a bit of a recap for the first half, but I mean, it was them catching up with each other, so they were just, like, sharing details, talking about cool new stuff, and then we actually got some story in the later half where he explained the whole. And then it got, but stuff.
They did it in a way where it definitely felt natural, and it was more of a summary to us than it was just kind of like a recap. It wasn't fully a recap. It was just basically them summing up to each other what happened. Also, we got to hear some new details about stuff that happened like in earlier volumes that we weren't privy to. Nora and the juice. She got juice on her dress at the dance or something.
Yeah.
Also, best arm wrestling contest ever.
Also, the fact that, like,
Yang cheated.
I mean, that was there, but the fact that she's like, wanna bet? Like, that means they've done this before.
I want to know when they've done it before. I want to see that.
Because she even said, too, this feels like the original, so...
It's like, how many times have you two arm wrestled?
enough to cause quantificous amounts of property damage. That's not a real word, but I made it sound like it was.
Okay.
Countless is the word I was thinking of. Fuck.
All the stuff at the table with Ren was just adorable, but I like the part where he does this little philosophical line, and Ruby goes, "Yeah, so as it turns out, if you let Ren speak, he's pretty deep." And I'm like, oh my god. If Ren talks, he's actually pretty deep. I'm like, oh my god, that's hilarious. And then
Nora,
when Ruby was trying to compliment him and saying that he was out of control, and he was like, yeah, I lost my center there for a second. She's like, no, I meant that in a good way. Oh, thank you. And I'm like, that is so cute. I love how with just two simple words, you can make Red look adorable. Oh, thank you. Just thank you. Thank you that he did.
I also liked episode 8, and I'm gonna talk on this point because we've had 3 solid episodes of Yang and Ruby and Weiss, and to have to finally get back to Blake after 3 episodes, I was like, finally, we get to find out what happens with this whole killing the Belladonnas thing, and oh my god, was it worth the wait.
Okay, I also want to talk about a big... They said they were going to get to it eventually, and they really did. Our first main LGBT character that's not, like, hidden in the background or anything.
That's actually what I was getting to next, yeah.
Yeah, with Ilya. Ilya was in love with Blake, and she was jealous that Blake was falling for Adam. I like that. But at the same time, it's like, honey, no, what did you do? Stop it. You're doing the bads. Stop doing the bads. But I really like that the way that it was handled, because it wasn't like, and here's your LGBT character. It's like, no, they did it in such a way that it worked not just for the character, but for the story, and it wasn't like...
It was a gradual workup.
Well, and it wasn't like a big deal either, and that's the whole point. You don't make a big deal out of it. Like, if you shine a spotlight on this, like, here's our token gay couple, that's just... If you just throw them in haphazardly, if you try and show a spotlight on it, it detracts overall from the narrative that you're trying to go through. It has to feel like it's a natural part of that character, and I think that Rooster Teeth did it really, really well with Ilya in episode 8.
And making a call back to a Rooster Teeth animated adventures, you can't have fanfare. You can't have fanfare with what you want. You're not allowed.
You're not allowed.
It can't just be like, and here's the gay character. Burr, 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 burr.
But at the same time, no.
The fans
if you want
can do that.
fanfare, if you want your fanfare for that character, I'm sure Tumblr and Reddit have you covered.
Yeah, go to Tumblr and Reddit. Don't look to Rooster Teeth to spice up what you want. Go to Tumblr. Actually, I should probably pick my words better.
But I think the way that it was handled was precious. I think it worked really well for the overall narrative. What else do we want to talk about? Because we had 3 episodes that we were catching up on.
I want to talk about if Gira and Tai Yang got in a fight, who would win? Because, oh my god, Big Daddy B is a fucking beast. In a literal sense.
I'm just getting to that point where I'm wondering if Corsic and Fennec have just looked at each other at some point. Like, I want in the next episode them to look at Gira to just go full lion and just rip into everybody, and I want the two of them to look at each other and do that look where they realize they fucked up.
We may have made a mistake, brother. No, you think?
We may have made a mistake, brother. Nah.
He says nah and gets backhanded through a wall.
Nah. The other thing that I thought was great about Blake and Sun was how easily they were able to take down the Blake's captors.
They've come a long way.
It shows that they still have skill. They haven't just been sitting around a menagerie doing nothing.
Yeah.
They did take down a water dragon Grim together, so...
I seriously like the fact that Blake's dad was just a hot. The dude comes in and tries to roundhouse kick him, and he just grabs him and is like, nope, throws him out his window. He's just like, I'm having none of this today.
Oh, is this the fight you thought it was going to be? Well, turns out no.
they go to kick him, kick, and he just grabs it. It's like, you are far too level for this. You are far too low level for this boss fight.
What else is there to talk about? I know that we're probably skipping over stuff that people want us to really talk about, and that's what the comments are for. Post in the comments when this goes up on SoundCloud and YouTube and Patreon. Let us know other topics you want us to discuss, because we want to do an open one of these pretty soon.
I will. I feel like we kind of just glossed over it, so I'll go back to it because I think we've talked sufficiently about Chapter 7 and Chapter 8, because all that happens in Chapter 8 is emotional moments where Yang opens up about her abandonment issues, and we all knew it was there. We all were waiting for her to just.
I was surprised at how strongly she was upset with Blake.
I wasn't surprised at all. I was like, oh yeah, no, her mom's walked out on her, Summers died, Ruby ran off, and then she had to go chase after her. I'm like, and then Blake just jumped ship too. I mean, I could understand her emotional strife.
But it is definitely starting to look like Yang has kind of fallen for Blake as well, though, because there's more attachment. I mean, I may be reading too much into it or something, but
it's a best friend attachment, in my opinion.
Do not dash my Bumblebee ship. Do not dash the hopes on my Bumblebee ship, damn you.
I will dash against the rocks of the Black Sun.
Yang is buying, you cannot tell me otherwise.
I'm not saying she's not. I'm just saying that it's not going to work.
Look here.
Sweet monkey boy.
I believe that Yang understands that sharing is caring.
I don't doubt that. I just don't know if Blake agrees. I feel like if she's like, threesome, Sun would be like, yup, and then Blake would be like,
I think Sun would be the first one on board with that. He'd be like, yup. They're like, how does that even work? He's got a tail.
Yeah, I feel like they'd be drinking tea when it goes down, and he just sits his tea down, and he's like, yes. And like, I haven't even told you, yes.
I haven't even told you, yes. I had a premonition. Yes.
She's like, but Son, he's already got his shirt off. Yes.
Yes. Do you see my abs? Yes.
I am ready.
I have been training all my life for this.
I've been training all my life for this one moment. They said it would never happen, but I knew.
I know. I thought I was to fight Grib. Listen to my words, woman. Good times.
But on episode 6, I like the fact that Raven actually got into detail. Like, we see vivid comparisons between Team Stark and Team RWBY, like how she talks about how, you know, they got away with stuff, a couple rule breaking there, a couple disobeying curfew here, and I'm like, oh, I see what's going on now.
Ozpin is grooming them.
And then she talks about the magic and stuff. She says people who come back from the dead. So my question is, like, was that just Ozpin, like, revealing himself, like, you know, I've reincarnated before? Or has she literally watched someone die and come back to life? Like, as if so, that is a semblance I want to know about.
That's a good question.
Just some guy walking around the world of Remnant. Hi, my name's Prometheus. I can never die.
This is my buddy Lazarus.
This is my buddy Lazarus. We have some really shitty times.
That's our good friend Jesus. He doesn't like boulders. And he suffers from claustrophobia.
Yeah.
That brings up a good question. Is the resurrected Jesus now a claustrophobe? The important questions, we ask them here.
The important questions for RWBY, we ask them here.
Does Jesus suffer from claustrophobia? The claustrophobia is so strong, it brought him back to life. And he was like, no!
I will say this, and I'm going to look this up real quick, because I remember this, and I was going to bring it up a while ago.
Is it the height of meanness to bury somebody who is to bury someone who in their life was claustrophobic? Isn't that like the height of being cruel?
Yes.
Burn them in an open field, man. That's just wrong.
Now, I know I'm going to mispronounce these, so I'm just not going to bother. But the two the two birds that were the messengers of Odin, does that make Ozpin Odin? Or was a previous incarnation of Ozpin named Odin?
I mean...
Thoughts to have.
I mean, we've already had discussions about Thor. That would make the Ozpin relationship with... Oh my god, is Nora secretly the child of Ozpin?
A version, maybe.
Questions must be asked. Are we reading too much into this mythology? And if we've got
probably.
Thor, if we've got Odin and we've got Thor, where's Loki? Just saying, where is Loki? And don't tell me Tyrion. That's too on the nose. All right. Anything else?
I think that's about it. I mean, the magic stuff wasn't really covered too extensively. She talked about magic and then never talked about the maidens.
Yeah, there was a lot for like a lot of information that was supposed to be dropped by Raven. She really didn't say much of shit.
Yeah, I want to talk more about episode 6, but at the same time, she just kind of talked vaguely about certain things, and I'm like, okay, can you go into more detail? Like, what kind of missions did he have you do? What took you to the edges of the Earth? When did you see Summer die?
Why did all these things happen? Like, why are you the way you are? And we didn't get an explanation for any of that. And I'm like, Raven, I hate you.
Now, the one thing I was mad at is when she straight out insulted Ty. I'm like, now see here, fucko. You let the man inside you. You've already made a mistake. If you're gonna call him out as a fool, then that makes you worse.
You know what? Now I just want like a fan art thing of Raven calling him a fool, and Yang turning
Like,
Yang putting on the shades and just being like a fool that knocked you up. Ayo! Oh my god damn it.
High fives are dead.
High fives are dead. Like,
I feel like there was something else I was going to talk about.
Maybe no. I know the real
reason
reason she's mad. I know the real reason she's mad at Taeyang. When they split up, he took Zwei. She's been forever mad at him because she didn't get Zwei. That's why.
He got Zwei and Yang. It's a double whammy. I have your furry baby and your real baby. What are you gonna do?
This is adorable. I love it.
I mean, probably not, because, I mean, the lifespan of corgis...
Right, no, I understand. It's just a joke.
But it is a good
joke. It is a good joke.
Correction, he took Zwei's grandfather from her.
Hey, corgis can live up to 10 years as well. Like, they don't have, like, crazy short lifespans. compared to other dogs. They can live past 10 plus years, so it's not unthinkable.
I know.
This is why. Do. Best dog entrance ever, though. Just saying. Comes out of a little cylinder of mail.
Trying to think of anything else I'm missing that I want to talk about. Oh, right. Final thing I want to talk about, because I did have a list of things I wanted to actually.
Oh, you made a list.
Bring up.
I should probably do that too.
Well, I mean, it was a small list. This is the last item on it. The last item on it is my original theory that I say original theory, but I someone else has probably had the same theory that I brought up last season of reviews, where I talked about Salem being the OG Winter Maiden, and I'm still on about that, because when Osmond gave it to people who I hoped would use their powers for good, I'm like, wait a minute. Because they've talked about the summer, autumn, and spring maidens, but never once have they mentioned the winter maiden.
We shall see.
Which leads me to believe it is probably Salem, because she has the same outfit, or she, like, if you tattered it up and covered it in darkness, her outfit would be similar to what we saw in the little maiden animation, where it told the story of the maidens, and her hair is done up in the same way. So I'm like, yes.
We shall see. We shall see. But that's it for us, guys. We hope you've seen these episodes when you listen to this. If you haven't, well, that's sad, because spoiler. I love that I did the spoiler thing at the end of the episode.
Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen these episodes, suck it. You knew what you were getting into.
Look, from the title of this, you should know. That having been said, I'm Richie Roberts, this is Walker, and Bree.
Hello.
We talked about RWBY, not overly in depth, but enough. Because we're not we're fans of RWBY, but we're not like hardcore fans of RWBY. We're a bit above the average.
I once was, but I've since taken down my walls of string and thumbtacks.
Oh, okay.
It was like that deep. It was like 5 pots of coffee later. So what if Raven is RWBY's mother?
Okie dokie.
And that was like dark days.
That was okie dokie. That having been said, we're gonna wrap things up here. Y'all have a good one. If there's any questions or anything that you think that we overlooked that you want to check out, make sure to drop us a comment so that we can chat about it in the next episode. We will see you guys later. Hopefully next week with one episode recaps.